All right, so my topic is the U.S. air bombing campaign. And there are three main um, operations for the U.S. air bombing. The first one was Rolling Thunder, and that one was the longest air bombing, while Linebacker 1 was the one that was most successful in its objective. And Linebacker 2, it forced the ultimatum to end Vietnam War.
Rolling Thunder.
Right, so Rolling Thunder started in March of 65 and ended in October of 68. And this was one of the ones that failed in its air bombing campaigns because the objective of it was trying to get the Vietnamese into a Stone Age, and I'll talk about that later. But the phases of it were bombing military targets such as radars and other weapons that try to attack the U.S. from bombing. And transportation was the next phase. That's when the U.S. bombed roads, railroads, and stuff for the Vietnamese to transport their military weapons. And Part C was natural resources. That's when the U.S. bombed oil and petroleum, pretty much anything to fuel their cars and stuff like that. Part D was citizen casualties. Now, that's when the U.S. bombed into areas that they haven't had attacked before because of the civilian were in that area. So they attacked the steelworks area. And Part 5 was the peace negotiations. That's when President Johnson pretty much negotiated to end Rolling Thunder. And Rolling Thunder was the conventional warfare, but the reason why it failed was because they were attacking a group of people that were unconventional. So that's why it failed, because it was already in a Stone Age.
Linebacker 1.
Alright, so Linebacker 1 started in May of 72 and ended in October of 72. This was a classic warfare because of how Rolling Thunder failed in its objective and Linebacker 1 achieved in its objective of trying to get rid of military supplies and prevent outside resources from coming in and out and interdict military supplies and people. The differences between Rolling Thunder and Linebacker 1 is President Nixon gave a lot more latitude. And with the new missiles, that helped a lot more for being able to be more accurate on their bombing, because Rolling Thunder, it was either a hit or miss, and most of the time it was misses. And that's why it was a true success, because Linebacker was able to give the military commanders more decisive and give them more of what they wanted. And the new weapons of targeting and laser pointing accuracy helped them with the success of Linebacker 1.
Linebacker 2. Boom.
So Linebacker 2 started on December 18th and ended on December 29th. This was an ultimatum trying to get a ceasefire with Vietnam. And if they didn't sign it, which they did a few times, then they were just going to bomb the crap out of them. The main three targets were petroleum, airfields, and railroads. Those were to try and eliminate any type of military success for the Vietnamese. This forced it. The U.S. was trying to force a ceasefire by attacking these three major areas. And they bombed until Hanoi signed the paper for the ultimatum. And that's how the North Vietnam War ended.